difference in Leandra's mindset from the time she was a sophomore and came and transferred in here to right now is so stark. I mean, the difference is so obvious. Coach Robichaud talks about it with his team this year, that when you lose so many upperclassmen, that you lose that ability to give those kids the opportunity to transform their mindset. If this kid would have left last year, she never gets to this point. And so I know a lot of times when we use the word process, that people think it's overused. But in our sport, I think more than the other sports, it is all about process. And there's no way to short circuit it. You have to go through it step by step, year by year. I mean, that's the way they set up the minor leagues. They take these guys and they draft them. The best athletes in the country, they go stick them in A, and then they gotta go to double, then to triple, then to... So, and that's going on forever. So there has to be this understanding that they understand that these kids are physically talented enough to play the game at that level. But what needs to happen is their mindset, their toughness, their approach. Pick whatever word you want to pick out. And with Leandra, I've seen it. I saw a kid come here as a JUCO transfer her sophomore year who definitely, she was an All-American. She was a JUCO All-American, and we just threw her in that situation, and she couldn't handle it. Not because she wasn't physically talented enough, but because the game overwhelmed her. And then she let it overwhelm her for the next year. And this year, she had a choice. You know, you have a choice as you sit around and you're exposed to the game year after year after year, and now she's tough enough. She's mature enough. Her mind is in the right place to be able to accept, as she said, whatever role we give her. And I don't know how you do it. I mean, I don't know how to get those kids to be juniors and then they have to leave. That's crazy. I mean, and I don't know how they do it in men's basketball. When you do a 1 year game, I know it's a different sport. In our sport, that's got to be the toughest thing in the world. When you invest in these guys, and now they're ready to make that leap, or they get there and then they leave. And that not only hurts you because that kid leaves, it hurts you because the influence they can have on the underclassmen as well. So it was her choice. Just like it was Hamilton's last year, and Shelby Redford, and all those kids. If you chop them off at their junior year, they never get that last chance to get on the big stage and do what they do. The next thing, March Madness. I love March. So Leandra is a rock on this team this year, and she provided some consistency at the bottom of the lineup. And it's not because she said it's because she works on her footwork. It's because she's transformed up here, and she's going through that process and experiencing failures and going through the highs and the lows. And she's made the choice to, as she say, I'm better than that. I'm going to find a way to get it done. I say this every year at this time. I love March Madness. I love this tournament, this basketball tournament, because that's the essence of college athletics to me. Put everybody in a pool, seed them, put them on the field, and let them get after each other to determine the champion. I think that's the way our sport does it. And to me, that's the true essence of competition. We're about the halfway mark in our season. This is when I lose track of where we are. Because right now, I just put my nose down and just go. I honestly can't tell you what happened in the UTA series. I have a hard time really telling you what happened in the series we just got done with. I have a hard time telling y'all what's going to go on this week. Just put your nose down and just grind. And people say, is it hard? Are you tired? You travel? Better not be. Nose down, grind. And you don't worry about all the other details. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. Not worried about details. Not worried about what happened yesterday. Not worried about what's coming tomorrow. Nose down and get through it. Get through the grind of the season. And the game's going to tell us when to pick our head up. We're going to know when to pick our head up and look around and see what we are. Right now, not the time. Any questions?
Coach, with the way Jordan's pitched this year, how has that changed Christina's maybe mindset at all because of how much she had to carry last season? How is that adjusting her this year?
Yeah, Christina's in a good place mentally. She, right now, she can't do, physically, she can't do what she did last year. So I think Christina's in a good place right now, accepting the role that we've given her, and also bringing those young kids along. And you know, if you get to go through your college career, you get to have a season like that that's so special. If you get to have one out of the four, it's a good thing. To expect it to repeat itself over and over and over again, probably not a wise thing. So she's playing the role that we've asked her to play, and I think before it's all said and done, we're going to leave something in her tank. So when we need her, she's going to be able to go back to those experiences and get something big for us when we need her.
I know your head is down, but what about Troy? Are they
About her?
Troy? Are they maybe a little bit better than the last two teams you played? I know all conference series are conference series, but what about Troy?
And basically the same team with a new coach. They've always pitched well. You know, it's always been low scoring affairs where we play each other. They always play good defense. So, you know, those two kids are still there, Ragin and Affleck. So they know us, and I think they're both seniors. They've pitched against us for 3 years, and it's always been low scoring, out, defensive oriented games.
What's the plan for bringing the other starters along, adding depth to the rotation?
Well, the plan remains the same. I mean, y'all don't see it because we enter squad 2 to 3 times a week. Those kids are being developed. Maybe not in the bright lights in front of y'all, but the plan is in place, and both of those kids are getting better, will be better. Whether the game gives you the opportunity to put them out there or not is inconsequential. It doesn't matter to their development. They're doing the things that they need to do to go along this process. Let's just stay with my analogy, right? Let's just say they're in AAA right now. And their work is in those inter squads. With umpires, against good hitters, in those situations, the same pressure, with the lights on. They're going to be ready. I mean, you don't have to pitch in Yankee Stadium to be prepared to do it. I know there are some subtle adjustments that you have to make. But doing the things that we're doing right now to get these kids ready, they're going to be ready. And they're good kids and they understand it. Another thing that we talk about, and she can comment on it if y'all wanted to, is while you're sitting there and it's a live game and things are going on, you can go through those emotions even though you're not on the field. In between the innings, you go get as close to that dirt as you can get. When an umpire makes a bad call, you can experience that feeling yourself. And you can go down to the bullpen after that inning and go simulate exactly what just happened out there. So we try to bring them along that way, and I think for the first time in a long time since I've been here, that we're in a good situation as far as knowing what the successor plan is on the mound. I feel good about it.
Coach DJ Sanders, at the plate, I know you say she's still a work in progress, but her defense is almost lights out. Just talk about that contribution that she gives you on the defensive side, Coach.
She's good. I mean, Narissa as a freshman struggled defensively and offensively. The game was too fast for her, even though she had the talent. On the defensive side of the ball, the game is not too fast for this kid. Like, she makes real-time decisions. And she's good defensively. And I don't want to start getting crazy here, but this kid has a chance to be the best of the best on the defensive side of the ball. I know a baseball coach told me this one time too. If you can do it on the defensive side, it's the same set of skills to do it on the offensive side. So she's going to develop offensively too. There's no question in my mind on that. It's just going to take her longer because when she came here, she was further along defensively than she was offensively. She never faced this caliber of pitching in her life. That's the disadvantage she's been at. She's gonna be good. You're gonna be special. Kid's tough. She's tough. She's a hard worker. She's a good teammate. She works hard. She doesn't get down. Very positive kid. Tough kid. Her upside is crazy good.
Coach, it might not have meant anything, but last night you pinch hit it in a game one for Leah Creighton. She came back, got 2 hits. She's been struggling.
Yeah.
Got 2 hits. Is there anything to that? I mean, that was impressive, I thought.
Great coaching, right? Great coaching is stupid.
But shows you where her mind is, though, I'm saying.
Sometimes when you take a step back, it's not a bad thing. You know, when you get to take a step back and away from it, it's not a bad thing. And Aaliyah is another kid, you know, she got off to that hot start and everybody thought that that's just the way it was going to be, but it's not the way it's going to be. I mean, she's going to be up and down. Once they get the scout report on you, they figure out how to pitch you. You struggle a little bit. She has some flaws in her swing that now she has to work on and correct and get better at. She has to do a better job of recognizing pitches and understanding what the pitchers are trying to do. She has to understand situational softball. When it's time to swing for the fence and when it's time to move a runner along. So, again, that's just part of her education. And another freshman, another freshman who got the red shirt but still is a baby. A baby in terms of understanding the game and really doing a really good job contributing to this team. I mean, really doing a good job.
Coach, at the beginning of the season, you know, you had a true freshman at shortstop, you moved a center fielder over to second base, and you rolled out a freshman in center field. After watching them, what they can do up to the middle point of the season, and then seeing Martinez go back on that ball during the weekend, and that double play to DJ and Hayden, I mean, is this as good as you've been up the middle of the field? And sometimes they're pretty good.
Well, defensively, we're very good. Defensively, we're very, very good. And we're just, again, talking about DJ a little bit, the same with Kelly. You know, she has to get better offensively. We got some good freshmen who are redshirt this year, too. You know, this is a good freshman class, and we talked about it when we signed them. The talent pool of this team right now is really good. You got some kids that are redshirt and not seeing the field. You have those two young pitchers who are not seeing a lot of playing time. Got a lot of good kids just sitting there developing and growing, and kind of just, if you think along with us, as this group of juniors cycles out of here, instead of starting again with true freshmen, hopefully you have those kids there that have seen it, tasted it, been a part of it, watched it. They're ready to step in. And that's what you have to do when you're not getting a blue chip recruit. You have to have a system in place where you can develop them and bring them along. And when it's their turn, instead of taking these dips, you have some stability. Puts a lot of pressure on us as coaches. It's a lot of strain because of the limited scholarships. But it's the best way to do it. It's the best way to develop kids and to bring them along. I love this. I love our freshman class. I do. Do I think they're ready to be in that Alabama series every weekend? Not yet. We have to. You can't expect them just to throw them in there and then they can just do it. I mean, you can see that they have the talent and the ability, but you have to take those dips, those peaks and valleys, and they get there. They do, they get there. I believe in this developmental process. That's why I say we're not going to label these kids. We're going to label them when they're freshmen. We're going to label them when they struggle. We're going to label them when they lose. We're going to label them when they do something great. No, let it take its course. Let us take its course. And at the end, when you put it all together, if you got a good group and they understand now it's time to go, you got a shot. Got to keep the quarterback, man. Never get rid of the quarterback. Never. That's crazy.